Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Hello. I want to welcome you to the 5th annual OSUIT poetry reading, and for the day we've transformed the center here into what we hope has a coffee bar ambiance, so please help yourself to refreshments. We have coffee, we have other delicious things. I'm going to get things going for us this afternoon, and I'll be making sure that the poets who are sharing their work with us today do come up in order to read. So I have a list which Ms. Duncan has prepared, so I'll be calling your name and coming back to the mic and looking for you so we can keep this moving. But as you know, you all signed in the order that you wanted to perform, so that shouldn't be too confusing. My name is Dana Sterling, and I'm fairly new to the campus. I'm teaching writing, creative writing, and English, also small group communication. So this is my 2nd year here, and I'm very delighted to be here and participating with my fellow creative types at this campus. And I wanted to take this opportunity to let you all know, since you're probably the best audience for this class that we have at the time, that for the very first time we're offering an elective in creative writing, which will cover several genres, and I'm teaching it for the first time in an all-online format this summer, but we'll also be offering it as a spring class from now on. So that's an elective. It's English 2113, and you can go ahead and enroll in it. We already have some people in it for the summer session, so me and the other English faculty are very excited about this. So without further ado, if you all would like to get your beverage of choice and settle into a comfortable seat, we'd like to begin. And our first poet who's performing this afternoon is Virginia Webb.
Sure. If there was a place I could call home, it would be a kind, peaceful place. There would be no pain, no suffering, no problems at all. This is the place I would call home. The other one I'd like to read is These Four Walls.
Virginia?
Yes.
I'm sorry, to kind of set the precedent, if you would, if you give us your name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kind of what your poem, why you wrote them, or who wrote them, if you wrote them, and if not, who did. And,
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm Virginia Webb.
And if you could scoot over just a little bit into the...
Okay, how this way?
That's good. Okay.
I'm Virginia Webb. My daughter wrote the one I just read, Home. And the other one I am going to read is These Four Walls, and my niece wrote it. And it is, I am closed in by these 4 concrete walls, great paint still doors and desolate halls. My mind closing in on me slowly, fast yet, in my new home, praying this to pass. Too wired to sleep, yet too tired to think. All I can do is prove myself with this paper and ink. Days run together, nights seem not to stay. My eyes remain closed, fighting emotions away. Too old for tears, yet too young for insane. Inside my rage builds, invading my brain. In these the world has stopped, outside it still spins. I hope and I pray to soon feel that again. I need to get out before my soul starts to rot. I need my growing kids so I can feel what I got. In here I have nothing, a number and a face. Out there I've got it all, my kids and my space. Soon I'll go home and get away from this hell. But with me I have my memories of these 4 walls in this cell.
Thank you so much. And of course, Ms. Duncan filled in for me. I should have said that. Please do tell us your name and a little bit about what you're going to be reading, especially who wrote it, if you wrote it yourself or if someone else did. So that's a very important point. Billy Bonds. You can, hold this in your hand or whatever you're comfortable.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bill Bonds. I'm in the IT department, and a few of my classmates are here, and I'm going to make a fool of myself up here reading poetry. But anyway, this is not an original piece of work. This is an unknown author. Then I pulled this off the internet, but it means a lot to me being a truck driver. I'm an old cowboy at heart, and running through Wyoming and Montana is my favorite part of the United States, and part of this takes place in Wyoming, and it's entitled Cowboy Poetry. Jake the rancher went one day to fix a distant fence. The wind was cold and gusty, and the clouds rolled gray and dense. As he pounded the last staples in and gathered his tools to go, the temperature had fallen, the wind and snow began to blow. When he finally reached his pickup, he felt a heavy heart. From the sound of that ignition, he knew it wouldn't start. So Jake did what most of us would do if we had been there. He humbly bowed his balding head and sent aloft to prayer. As he turned the key for the last time, he softly cursed his luck. They found him 3 days later, frozen stiff in that old truck. Now Jake had been around in life and done his share of roaming, but when he saw heaven, he was shocked because it looked just like Wyoming. Of all the saints in heaven, his favorite was St. Pete. So they sat and talked a minute or two, or maybe it was 3. Nobody was keeping score because in heaven, time is free. I've always heard, Jake said to Pete, that God will answer prayer, but one time I asked for help, well, he just plain wasn't there. Does God answer prayers of some and ignore the prayers of others? That don't seem exactly square. I know all men are brothers. Or does he randomly reply without good rhyme or reason? Maybe it's the time of day, the weather, or the season. Now I ain't trying to act smart, it's just the way I feel. And I was wondering, could you tell me, just what the heck's the deal? Peter listened very patiently, and when Jake was done, there were smiles of recognition. He said, so you're the one. That day your truck, it wouldn't start, and you sent your prayers a-flying. You gave us all a real bad time, with hundreds of us trying. 1,000 angels rushed to check the status of your file. But you know, Jake, we hadn't heard from you in quite a long, long while. And though all prayers are answered, and God ain't got no quota, he didn't recognize your voice, and he started a truck in Minnesota.
Thank you very much. Our next performer will be Bruce Roberts.
Hi everybody, I'm Bruce Roberts. Many of you know me. I'm chair of the faculty and staff council, and I'm also an instructor in construction technology. And I wrote this poem about 25 years ago when Edgar Allan Poe was a big influence on my writing and a lot of his reading. And out of hundreds of poems, my daughter Kylie wanted me to read this one, so here it goes. It's called Christmas Kitty. So, oh little kitty, what is that? Quite unusual for a little cat. Perhaps it's normal, I do suppose, but how did you get that red nose? Wait, little kitty, don't run away. I won't harm you, won't you stay? Come on in off the snow. About that nose I've got to know. Well, he said, I'm pressed for time, but warm milk would be fine. I must leave soon, I must persist, to be off in time with my list. What could be that you would leave with a list on Christmas Eve? To leave right now wouldn't be right, it is after all a foggy night. Like I said, I'm in a hurry. As for this list, you need not worry. And the use of this nose is quite clever in times like this of foul weather. Thanks for the kindness you have made. I'm sure it will be well repaid. With a bright glow, he stepped out the door. I begged, oh my, please tell more. Perhaps he said you have heard of me. In a tale long ago it could be. Now off I must go without delay, in time to lead Santa Pa's sleigh. Thinking a while with this conclusion that what I had saw was no illusion. Always be nice to animals you meet. Santa Claus helpers may have furry feet.
Thank you. Our next performer is Bobby Lopez. Or did I just say? No, there you are. Lost my place.
Hi, I'm Bobby Lopez. I've been writing for nearly 30 years, and this still freaks me out. I keep thinking when I finish a piece of work that people are going to be yelling, fraud, and that would be the end of my career, but you know. But I wrote this poem 3 days ago, actually. The reason why I wrote it is, it's kind of, asking the reason why for me is odd. It's like, hey, little odd bucket of you. But I didn't start writing because I wanted to know the reason why. For me, writing is an extension of a life well lived. It's an extension of my life. And I don't have to have a reason for that. It just is. So. It's entitled, My Dreams Torn Away, lulled in its soothing sway. Future hopes? Nope. That stuttering snake, just a wisp for state, cajoling, flattering, slithering across my fingertips. Like a child I cooed. Life flashed around and swallowed me whole. Its fangs sunk deep, ripping apart my soul, now orphaned in dark sleep. Thank you.
Thank you. Some of you who are standing in the back, there are more chairs on this side if you'd like to crowd around. Don't be shy. On the other hand, if you've been sitting all day and you like standing, that's fine too. There's a couple more seats over here too. So just if you were needing that. Our next performer will be Aaron Small.
Hello, my name is Aaron Small. I'm currently pursuing the nursing program here at OSU IT. I wrote this, and I wrote it for my mother. She passed away about 3 weeks ago, and basically my mother and I had a strained relationship at times, as many do with their parents, just depending on, you know, my mom was passionate just like I was, and a lot of times we were best friends, and then when best friends don't get along, you go for the throat, and that's kind of where we were at exactly when she decided to take off. So I got to spend the last 2 weeks in ICU with her, and she couldn't speak because of what was going on with her lungs, and so a lot of our communication was through hand signals and a lot of guessing on my part. But we got to make peace with each other, and she spent those 2 weeks trying to make peace with those that she needed to make peace with. So I'm basically reading this. I don't do this ever, and I've written a few little things that I keep hidden away, but I thought this was just another way to honor her. So it was hard to watch the fear in your eyes, holding your hand day and night, the deafening sound of your silent cries, piercing my soul with a blinding light. The remaining days of a life cut short, so many ways in pain we sort, our unspoken words we traded through sight, our broken past like a bird took flight. I promise the others it's all okay, but I worry myself, how long is the day? I wonder and wait, will I see you again? But until that day, a prayer on an angel's wing.
Thank you. Next will be Tabitha Music.
Hi, my name is Tabitha Music, and I'm a recruiter here at OSU IT. And this is kind of odd because I go and talk to students all over all the time, and I'm nervous right now. Okay, I have a couple of poems. I'll read 2 of them. The first one I wrote for my grandmother. She passed away a year ago in January, and it doesn't have a title. Okay. I can still see your face, your smile and your grace. I know I'll miss you so much, but I will remember happier times and such. All the games we used to play, you always knew the way. From puzzles, Scrabble, and cards to raking sweet gum balls in your yard, you taught me so much and had such a special touch. The talent that poured from you no one ever really knew, in the garden you loved to be, or in the kitchen watching TV. Sewing bears and Barbie clothes, you couldn't smell anything with your nose. Everything we did I thought was neat, and you were always so sweet. I'm very sad that we have to part, but I will forever keep these memories in my heart. And this other one I actually wrote when I was in high school. There was weird noises under our house, and it's called Under My House. There's something going on underneath my house. I see the cats go in and the mice come out. I've seen fat cats, small cats, and very colorful cats. The mice always take me by surprise whenever they wave goodbye. Now someone might think I'm telling a lie, but I know those little guys are under there. When I walk through my house, I can feel them under my feet. If I feel frightened, I just toss them some meat. The food disappears though without a fight. If you hear a screech and a meow, and sometimes even an ow, you can only wonder what is going on down there and who took my underwear.
You know, that explains a lot. Our next performer will be Trisha Fields.
Okay, I'm extremely nervous. My name is Trisha Fields. I graduated from here in December, and I'm still going over to the College of Muskogee Nation. I'm getting ready to graduate in a couple of weeks. Both of these poems are poems that I wrote. I mostly write about, I guess, things to do with Indian people. I'm Indian, obviously. And it's just things on my mind. Hopefully I won't stop, because if I stop, I'll just make a beeline right over there. One is in English and has some Muskogee Creek words in it. The other one is all in English. And it's just random thoughts / complaining about friends / cousins or relatives, kind of griping people out. Anyway, this one's called Hodali Thako. And then I guess I can't really stop in the middle and explain what each word means, but if you listen, you can probably guess what words they are in English. Hodali Thako. Hodali Thako is getting near. I feel it deep in my soul. Taniki rolls through the sutta like an old car coming down the street, whose muffler litters an old country road left behind Okmulgee. Oski pours down of the sutta like old dishwater at our family camp, which washed away our mess we made while eating, now feeling fat. Hodali Thako is getting near. I feel it deep in my soul. A holy blows quickly out of the sutta like a new love in your heart that you never saw coming but now could never bear to part. Excuse me. A doya hutting spreads across the sutta, lighting up like a neon web, spun by a tiny little hachuk thanwa from unique designs created in its head. Hodali Thako is getting near. I feel it approaching fast, blowing away bad feelings and washing away the past. That was that one. This one is called Indian Boys. And there is a song behind this. There's a round dance song, and it's called Indian Boys, and some of the lyrics are from it, but I changed almost all of them to kind of fit my mood that day. Indian boys. How we love those Indian boys we grew up with, who stole our hearts, who had our back, but some fell apart. Pawnee boys, Cheyenne boys grew into men that we don't know. Once champion powwow dancers, singers, now to the bar they'd rather go. How we dreamed of Indian boys with strong families who, sorry I'm getting nervous, who joked and played ball, were so handsome, were strong and tall. Creek boys, Osage boys lost themselves somewhere, beat down by drinking and drugs, now they don't even care. How we miss those Indian boys. Some went to prison, some went to the streets. Some went to heaven, some we just never see. Seminole boys, Sioux boys, we miss who you were back then. Self-destruction trickles down and erases what should have been. How we need our Indian boys to protect our family, to be spoiled rotten, to continue traditions, to not be forgotten. Comanche boys, Oto boys, we need you back home with us, to raise your children with love, to teach them respect and trust. How we love those Indian boys who broke their mothers' hearts and let their fathers down, who left their very own children and never go around. Ojibwe boys, Dene boys, you know what you should do. It's not too late to change your ways and start your life brand new. Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be Gary Medlock.
My name is Gary Medlock. I'm an instructor in engineering, and I really feel bad because I'm going to read somebody else's poetry rather than all this talent that's been in here writing their own. But hey, never said I was a poet, I just enjoy hearing it. So I'm going to read The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. Is part of Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. And this was written in 1872. So you realize that hallucinogenic drugs have been around for a long time. Okay? It's a nonsense poem. "'Twas brillig in the slithy toves, did gyre and gimble in the wave, all mimsy where the barrel goes and the mome wrasse outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the Tum-Tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes aflame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, calloo, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave, all mimsy where the barrel goes, and the mome wrasse outgrave.
Thank you for that. And I performed that poem. You gave me a flashback to when I was about 14 in a speech contest in Jenks, Oklahoma. So that was a wonderful memory to get back.
I did the same thing when I was about 14 or 15 in Sand Springs.
Maybe it was the same year. All right. Next we have Doreen White.